Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there lived a sweet little girl who everyone adored. People just smiled when they saw her because she was so kind and lovable. But no one loved her more than her grandmother. That grandmother would give her anything she wanted, really anything at all. One day, the grandmother made her a special gift, a small cap made of bright red velvet. It looked perfect on the girl's head, so she refused to wear anything else. From then on, everyone started calling her Little Red Cap. One morning, her mother called her over. "Come here, Little Red Cap," she said. "I've packed a piece of cake and a bottle of wine for you. Your grandmother isn't feeling well, she's weak and needs something to help her feel better. Take these to her right away before the day gets too hot. And remember, walk carefully and stay on the path. Don't run off or you might trip, drop the bottle, and break it. Then your grandmother gets nothing. When you get to her house, go inside and say good morning first. Don't start looking around in every corner before you greet her." Little Red Cap looked up at her mom and nodded seriously. "I promise I'll be really careful," she said, and she gave her mother her hand to seal the promise. The grandmother's house sat deep in the woods, about half an hour's walk from the village. As soon as Little Red Cap stepped into the forest, she met a wolf. The girl had no idea what a dangerous animal he was, so she wasn't scared at all. "Good day, Little Red Cap," the wolf said politely. "Thank you, Wolf," she replied sweetly. "Where are you heading so early?" he asked. "To my grandmother's house. And what's that you're carrying in your apron?" "Cake and wine. We baked yesterday, so I'm bringing her something nice to help her get stronger since she's sick." "Where exactly does your grandmother live?" the wolf asked, trying to sound casual. "It's a good quarter of an hour farther into the woods," Little Red Cap answered. "Her house stands under 3 big oak trees, and right below them are some nut trees. I'm sure you've seen it." The wolf thought to himself, "What a tender little thing she is. She'd make a much better meal than the old woman, but I have to be smart if I want to catch both of them." He walked beside her for a little while, then pointed around. "Look, Little Red Cap," he said. "See how beautiful the flowers are all around us. Why don't you take a moment to look? And listen, can you hear how sweetly the birds are singing? You're walking so seriously, like you're on your way to school, but everything out here in the woods is so happy and full of life." Little Red Cap glanced up. Sunlight danced through the branches, and colorful flowers bloomed everywhere. She thought, "Maybe I could pick a fresh bunch of flowers for grandmother. That would make her happy too. It's still early, I have plenty of time." So she stepped off the path and wandered into the woods to gather flowers. Every time she picked one, she spotted an even prettier one a little farther away. She kept chasing after them, going deeper and deeper into the forest. While she was busy with the flowers, the wolf hurried straight to the grandmother's cottage and knocked on the door. "Who's there?" the grandmother called weakly from inside. "It's Little Red Cap," the wolf answered, trying to sound like the girl. "I'm bringing cake and wine. Please open the door." "Lift the latch," the grandmother replied. "I'm too weak to get up." The wolf lifted the latch, pushed the door open, and went straight to the bed without saying another word. He swallowed the grandmother whole. Then he put on her nightgown, tied her cap on his head, climbed into the bed, and pulled the curtains closed. Meanwhile, Little Red Cap kept picking flowers until her arms were full. Finally, she remembered her grandmother and hurried back to the path toward the house. When she arrived, she was surprised to see the door standing wide open. She stepped inside and felt something strange in the air. "Oh dear," she whispered to herself. "I feel so uneasy today. Usually I love being with grandmother, but something doesn't feel right." She called out, "Good morning." No answer came. She went to the bed and pulled back the curtains. There lay her grandmother with the cap pulled low over her face, looking very odd. "Oh, grandmother," Little Red Cap said, "what big ears you have." "The better to hear you with, my dear," came the reply. "But grandmother, what big eyes you have." "The better to see you with, my child." "And grandmother, what large hands you have." "The better to hug you with." "Oh, but grandmother, what a huge mouth you have." "The better to eat you with." With those words, the wolf leaped out of bed and swallowed Little Red Cap in one gulp. After finishing his meal, the wolf felt full and satisfied. He climbed back into the bed, lay down, and soon started snoring loudly. Just then a huntsman happened to pass by the house. He heard the snoring and thought, "That old lady is snoring so loudly. I should check if she needs anything." He stepped inside and walked to the bed. Instead of the grandmother, he saw the wolf lying there. "So there you are, you wicked old wolf," he said. "I've been looking for you for a long time." He was about to shoot the wolf right then, but he stopped. Maybe the wolf had eaten the grandmother, and she could still be saved. Instead of shooting, he grabbed a pair of scissors and carefully cut open the sleeping wolf's stomach. After a couple of snips, he saw the red cap shining inside. A few more cuts, and Little Red Cap jumped out. "Ah, how scared I was," she cried. "It was so dark inside the wolf." Next came the grandmother, alive but barely able to breathe. Little Red Cap quickly ran outside and gathered some heavy stones. They filled the wolf's belly with them. When the wolf finally woke up, he tried to run away, but the stones were too heavy. He collapsed and died on the spot. Everyone was overjoyed. The huntsman took the wolf's skin and went home with his prize. The grandmother ate the cake and drank the wine Little Red Cap had brought, and she soon felt much stronger. Little Red Cap thought to herself, "From now on, as long as I live, I'll never leave the path and wander into the woods when my mother tells me not to." And there's more to the story. Another time, Little Red Cap was taking cakes to her grandmother again. This time, a different wolf tried to trick her off the path, but she had learned her lesson. She stayed right on the road and didn't listen to him. When she reached the house, she told her grandmother about the wolf. "He said good morning to me," she explained, "but he had such a mean look in his eyes. If we hadn't been on the public road, I'm sure he would have eaten me." "Well then," the grandmother said, "let's lock the door so he can't get in." Soon the wolf came knocking. "Open the door, grandmother," he called. "It's Little Red Cap with some cakes for you." But they stayed quiet and didn't open up. The wolf circled the house a few times. Finally, he climbed onto the roof, planning to wait until evening when Little Red Cap left, then follow and eat her in the dark. The grandmother saw what he was up to. Outside stood a big stone trough. She turned to the girl. "Little Red Cap, take this pail," she said. "I boiled sausages yesterday. Carry the water from the pot out to the trough and fill it up." Little Red Cap carried bucket after bucket until the trough was completely full. The smell of those sausages floated up to the wolf on the roof. He sniffed, leaned over to look, stretched his neck farther and farther, until he lost his balance. He slipped, tumbled down from the roof, and fell straight into the trough full of water. He drowned right there. Little Red Cap went home happy and safe. And after that, no one ever tried to harm her again. This old tale reminds us how important it is to listen to our parents, stay careful around strangers, and never wander off the safe path. Even today, Little Red Cap's story teaches kids to be smart, brave, and wise in a big, sometimes dangerous world. If you liked this story, please like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video. Happy learning!